Hey everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today here on Blind Whiskey Reviews, the most honest reviews on YouTube. And we're on to our next episode of the Speedy Sample Review Summer Bonanza. Again, hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. I've been having a great time making these. And don't forget, at the end of this coming Sunday, we're going to be doing our very first live Speedy Sample Review. So I haven't set a time for that yet. I'll be doing that very shortly. But we'll be doing a live Speedy Sample Review, having a couple other drinks, talking about whiskey, chatting, and having a good time. So hopefully you guys can join me for that this coming Sunday. So today we're doing a Speedy Sample Review. We've got our same 24 samples. These are made up of whiskey sent to me by distilleries to review, whiskey sent to me by friends out there in the whiskey world, and whiskeys that I've already reviewed and put in a sample bottle a few months after they've been opened so we can see how that whiskey's been doing with a little bit of airtime. If this is a re-review, I will link it up here and down in the description below. So let's get to our random number generator, and as I've been liking to do lately, we're going to hit it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Sample number 2. These numbers have been staying low lately. 1 and 2. I guess it makes it easier for me to figure out which whiskey to grab. This looks pretty darn dark from here. Getting a little bit of aroma off the glass. Wow, that is about as dark as it gets. The aroma is slightly odd. There's the slightest hint of sweetness there, not a lot. Very dark, charry characters. Herbal quality, like a vegetal quality. Smells strange. Maybe it's a rye with some age on it or something. It just smells different. There's some deep, dark, sweet notes kind of buried in there. I'm not sure what they are quite yet, but let's get onto the palate. Cheers. This tastes like another young whiskey. Doesn't taste like something I've had before. It tastes like a blend of young whiskey and like strangely deep flavors. Like they don't taste like they should go together. Like something was done differently with this whiskey. There's like these deep, rich notes that are buried in there, and then there's also these really light, grassy notes. And the deep, rich notes are kind of the stuff you're going to get from some more age and more time in a barrel, and the light, grassy notes are obviously what you're going to get from a young whiskey. So it's just strange that these two are in the same glass together. And like I said, this color is so dark. It's incredibly, incredibly dark. If this is mahogany, if anyone's ever seen mahogany whiskey, this has got to be it. Very, very dark. Yeah, I'm picking up very slight notes of coffee, dark chocolate, a hint of like char. And it's like I said, the only thing that's taken away from these nice, rich flavors is this light grassiness. If it was like a light fruitiness, it would probably go really well with it and bring a little sweetness to it. This is not a very sweet whiskey. It tastes predominantly like more of in that like baking chocolate, bitter coffee kind of range. There's a little bit of sweetness there, but not very much. It definitely swings harder to the other side. Yeah, a lot more of the same. Like I said, there's a reasonable amount of complexity there. I'm just not loving the balance of what's here as so much. There's some really great flavors there, but they're really being taken away from what I'm perceiving as like a young quality. It feels like this is a whiskey that they did something to, like they double barreled it, or they aged it in small barrels, or they aged it in high heat. I don't know. They did something to this whiskey to get these other flavors there, is what it feels like. So for a Speedy Sample Review score, God, this is such a tough one. It's such a unique and weird thing I'm tasting here. I'm going to give it I mean, I like some of the flavors here. I mean, it's kind of cool to get these coffee and chocolate flavors and things like that. I wish it was a little bit better balanced with some sweetness and some fruity range of flavors, like a few other flavor complexity in there that we could add to this. I'm gonna give it a 79. I think it's on the high end of average and bordering on good. I'm very curious to find out what this is. So let us not waste any more time and get to. This is, I didn't tell you a proof either. This is Ironroot Harbinger Bourbon Whiskey. This is 115 proof, aged 27 months. Wow, so we were kind of on the money to an extent. So obviously it's a young whiskey at 27 months. I don't know what Ironroot does. Ironroot is a Texas distillery, and I don't know what they're doing with their whiskeys, if they're doing small barrels or if it's just the Texas heat that's kind of adding some of these deeper, richer qualities. Everybody says that Texas whiskey ages faster, and I don't think that's true. Out of every Texas whiskey I've tried, it still tastes young. Like there's maybe a little bit more complexity than you would get from like a 2-year-old Kentucky whiskey, but it definitely is not tasting like, oh, it ages twice as fast and this is a 4 or 5 or 6-year-old whiskey. It definitely isn't that. This was sent to me by the distillery, so thank you very much to Ironroot. I'm really curious to see what your whiskey tastes like in a few years, because once you can shake that young quality and that young grassiness that's kind of lingering in there, I think this stuff's gonna be fantastic. Because like I said, there's some really good, deep, rich notes in there that you don't get in a lot of whiskeys. And so it's really nice to taste those, and I really like to see those be a little bit more forward and maybe have a little bit more complexity involved with those, with a little more age. Because, maybe at 4 or 5 years, this whiskey is going to be a mind blower. But right now, I think that young grassy quality is just taken away from it a little bit. So that's my shot, my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of Ironroot down below. I know they're one of the more highly regarded Texas distilleries, so I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about them if you've been able to try any of their stuff. So leave me a comment down below. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at blind_reviews. You can send, and don't forget, follow me also on Mission Bottle Kill, mission_bottle_kill. That way we can post all of your guys' empty bottle pics too. And you can send me an email at blindwhiskeyreviews with an E at gmail.com, whiskey with an E at gmail.com. And until next time, cheers.